Hey, podcast listener. Are you a hacker, techie, nerd, investor, founder, or ever wanted to get into this world? Join TechCrunch for its annual Disrupt conference in San Francisco, featuring the luminaries who aren't only making the rules in technology, but changing the game. Get a first look at startups disrupting machine learning, mobility, healthcare, robotics, and more, and hear from the world's leading investors and innovators. Visit TechCrunch.com and use promo code SPREAKER. That's SPREAKER for an exclusive discount.
Blog Talk Radio.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Sunny D. Welcome to tonight's show. Teddy guys, y'all want to say hi?
What's going on, good people? It's your boy Clint.
I was going to let you slide, Sunny, but, we're going to get into this. What up, though? It's your boy Willie Styles. Back at you again. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, tonight is August 9th, 2018. If you're listening right now, you're on blogtalkradio.com/GFT radio show. I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to say after that. My brain just left.
Did you say the date? I missed. I'm sorry.
Yes, I did say the date. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I did say the date. I said what you're listening to. So, yeah, we got a great show for you guys tonight. Definitely call in. The phone number will be 657-383-1155. You can also live tweet us at GST_radio. And also, while you're listening to our show, you can go to teespring.com/stores/GFT radio. Get y'all some merchandise.
Yes.
Purchase
some of the merch.
Yes,
appreciate
get some merchandise.
We're gonna have a great show tonight. Sunny got her reception together.
Whatever, y'all. Whatever. Y'all gotta be the next one to bring up anything.
Cricket is on jam tonight. We got Sunny on the line again. We're good.
Really? Whatever. I was on the phone last week, so shut it. Anywho, who came up with the topic this week? Was it you or Clint, Willie?
Oh, excuse me. I think it was a team effort. We was talking about it, and we was, like Willie said before the show, we was hearing stuff from the street. Like everybody, all the praise he was getting, there was a lot of skepticism from a lot of people too, and a lot of criticism from a lot of black folk as well. Some people felt like, had issues with it, and I go get into it as the show goes along, but we thought we just wanted to bring it up and talk about it. And that the people know the streets is talking.
And just so you guys know, if you hear me call LeBron Late Brick, I've been calling him that since he's been with the Cleveland Cavaliers the first time. So, we're gonna talk about him, even though I really like him as a basketball player.
Yeah. He done beat Sunny team so many times. Sunny kind of got a little hate for him, so we're gonna let that slide.
Right.
We're gonna let that. Now, I wanted to start to like me and Willie was having a little pre-show conversation about that topic.
So go ahead.
Yeah, you feel me? Your cricket was acting up, but I wanted to start there. Now, what we was actually. Now, say what you was saying again, Willie, about the charter. The reason you happy that it wasn't a charter?
Oh, okay. Right. All right. So let's just quickly recap. We're talking about the Promise School, LeBron James, and the LeBron James Family Foundation. Put this program, kind of built this program up with the help of the Akron School District. And they're promising a lot of things like it's basically a tuition-free school, free uniforms. They're giving the kids bikes. They're promising them family programs and family improvement programs. As well as in the future, they'll be eligible for enrollment or scholarships, rather, to the University of Akron. So basically, the program is an extension of their iPromise program, right? So this iPromise program has actually been going on for some years, and it was kind of developed to encourage children and families and everything in inner cities. And the ultimate goal was to get these students successfully through school, as well as get them enrolled in college or university, specifically University of Akron. And so I can't remember what the number was, but there's over 1,000 students that are already eligible for University of Akron scholarships, along with now this inaugural class of the iPromise school. So anyway, basically, some of the media reports were talking about how this school was being put together and how it's LeBron's school and blah, 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 blah. And so, as many of you may have heard or may not have heard, a lot of that was kind of, what's the word? It was false, basically false, misconstrued. There you go. Thank you. But it's misconstrued. So basically, the school itself is a public school. It's part of the Akron educational system. It's part of their public school system. The LeBron James Family Foundation is putting up part of the money for the initial cost of starting the school, as well as the first year budget, putting up as much as $2 million into the school each year. But the school budget is looking to be more along the lines of anywhere from $4 to $8 million a year as the population of the school grows. So one thing I was saying to Clint earlier was that I felt like because my initial feelings about the situation is when I heard on the media reports that this was going to be a charter school, or they kind of made it seem like it was insinuated this was going to be a charter school, was that finding out that it's a public school I thought was actually a good thing. I don't know what the Akron or the Cleveland area public school systems are like, but I just know that public schools in general have a bad rap, for one. Necessarily so, but they have a bad rap, and then people have been leaving public schools in droves for years, for decades, and the fact that his foundation is investing into a public school system, I think should be looked at as a positive, for one. But then also, I like the fact that it's going to be a public school because there's oversight. The thing about charter schools, and the reason that a lot of charter schools will come and go, is because these are ran by businesses, and businesses in general do things for either for money or to be able to write things off, right? And basically, charter schools, though they have a little bit more flexible programs, people feel like their education is better there. The program, the variety of things that you can do in a charter school as a kid is wide and great and varied. But the problem is that the oversight is limited. So you have students that are being pulled out of public schools going into these charter schools, and they are taking some of the money in certain schools with the vouchers and things of that nature, pulling that out of public schools. Public schools already have a bad rap because, one, they're either underfunded or they're badly managed. Their funds are badly managed. So you're already taking money out of a place that's like pouring money out like it's bleeding to death, right? That needs it. So that's one problem with the charter school systems. The other problem is that, like I said, with the oversight, is that if things go awry, you could basically end up with a school closing down or a program closing up, and all these promises that they make just kind of go out the window. I mean, not that Akron can't come back and say, hey, you know what, this is not working out. We're going to need to rethink this thing. It's not that they later. It's just the fact is that LeBron James or his foundation can't just up and say, you know what, we're out of this, and the school just tanks. Now you have a public school system that can back this thing up and say, hey, you know what, this is our building, this is our program, this is our staff. You can't just take our staff away. There's a lot of pluses for the Akron school system that are involved in this, and I think that's huge.
Yeah. And me personally, I have yet to see a charter school work in my area. Every charter school, mainly, most of them have folded. You feel me? They run for a couple of years, then the kids, they shut down, and the kids left in limbo, and it's like it's a recurring cycle. So I'm actually happy at the public school as well, you know, because it was a lot of misconceptions, you know, like I guess people, like you said, people thought LeBron Foundation or whatever was running the school. You know, it's like he built the school. Actually, it was an existing building already. They just renovated it, and that the school district already owned. You know, they just renovated it, upgraded it. You know, LeBron paid for all of that. His foundation paid for all of that. And then, you know, I guess what we really should have got from the media is all the perks. The perks is basically on LeBron and his foundation, I believe. You know, the helping the parents get the GED, paying for the kids if they decide to go to Akron University. I think all of that is on LeBron. And like Willie alluded to, like this year, the inaugural school year for the school, I think it's only got 2 grades. You know, eventually they want to go from 1 to 8th, first grade to 8th grade, and that's when, like Willie stated earlier, the amount that the foundation, the Bronze Foundation, is going to help is going to increase to about $8 million a year, because right now it's really at like $2 million or so like that. So, you know, I think 75%, the numbers I was reading, they said like 75% of the cost is really still going to be from the state or from the Akron School District. They really paying 75% of everything, and I guess LeBron Foundation is covering the rest.
Yeah, but I think that's good because you look at our public schools here. A lot of it, like Willie said, is underfunded, and you have somebody actually back in the school. That's the problem with these schools. It's not that they're bad schools, is that they don't have the money to do what they need to do for the kids. That's where you get the teachers buy-in, the kids, like workbooks. Like most of the teachers in the public schools spend their money for the kids to progress because they only get a certain amount for the school year, and it's always we can't get this because we don't have money for it. It's always this. Like you know, a lot of these schools are crappy and they can't do stuff. It's something simple as an air conditioning in an air conditioned school in some of these schools that don't have things. So when you have somebody like this or LeBron and his foundation really helping out, it helps. Because it's like when the district says no and he could do it, you know, I'm pretty sure he'll do it. Because a lot of these schools go underfunded. And this is why people send their kids to charter schools because they don't get like the books and stuff. Like they you know, like we know how we was using the same book for years that needs to be upgraded back when our parents went. So it's actually good so they get to learn better, that everything is up to current. You know, they can afford different technologies because now we use technology more. So I think it actually benefits, especially with public schools, because a lot of these charter schools, like you were saying, don't offer, well, I don't know if you were saying that really, they don't offer a lot of the stuff that public schools do. So, like, we have special needs kids. That has to be through a public school. Like, everything costs, so it's actually good that he actually, I commend him. Like I said, I don't really like him as a ball player, but I commend him for actually doing something for public schools, too, because I would prefer, I'm glad that it's public and not charter or private or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big proponent of charter schools here in Michigan, because they you know traditionally have worked fairly well. We have a very I mean, I don't know what the numbers are in terms of the number of charter schools versus public schools, but I do know we have a huge number of charter schools here in Michigan. And I mean, some school districts have even, you know, kind of supplemented their lack of schools with the fact that, you know, they have charter schools in the area that kind of you know, offset some of the student load. But basically, you know, the charter schools here do well because of really the parents, right? You know. And I think the flip side of what LeBron's foundation is doing with this iPromise school and the Akron School District is doing with this iPromise school is they're flipping it and making it more beneficial to the family versus relying on the family to make it a great experience for the kids, right? Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of times you see parents who are either working multiple jobs or may not even be as involved or interested in their kids' education because they're in a situation where they feel like they have to do what they got to do, that kind of thing. You know what I'm talking about. But basically, I think that the flip side of this iPromise school is that it's saying, hey, it's not up to the families of these particular kids to make the school run and function and survive. It's up to us to help these families survive and help these families prosper, and and that's huge, because a lot of times the community is suffering already, so the schools continue to suffer. Having these after school programs, the tutoring, the extended year programs. I mean, a lot of the programs that they're going to be introducing with the school itself go on throughout the calendar year, regardless of the school year. So a lot of the children aren't going to be just kind of. Yeah, exactly. They're not just going to be left to just, fend for themselves during the summer. They're going to actually have other programs going on during the summer. They have, a very limited number of students, and I think that was another complaint that I was reading about is that, these types of schools, even, charter schools, these special types of public schools, things like this, that they're not scalable. And they don't reach out to everyone. They reach out to a small select few. But the thing is that being able to reach that small select few, has to be that stepping stone. The more programs that get introduced, one, it takes money. Everything takes money. Takes time, takes people, takes effort. And I think the more that people are affected by programs like this or see programs like this, it'll spread. It'll continue to spread. I mean, he's introducing a program in a school that's just another one in tens of schools or even hundreds of schools that are out there and programs that are out there that have already kind of been doing this kind of thing. So he's just adding to this layer. I think that continuing to have that impact in these communities and these neighborhoods, will continue to just multiply, because you got to affect other people in order for them to affect change. You just can't expect one person to do everything or one school program to do everything.
What I really appreciate about the school, first of all, it's for at-risk students. It ain't, it's for the students that's been having issues and troubles probably in their regular school system, the normal school system classes. They're having issues. So this school, even though it's a public school, is for at-risk kids. And I think with LeBron being attached to it, and the more that he's involved with it, I think those students that are at risk, see now they see the school on the news, they see all this brand new stuff. So now that gives them that zest, that zeal, to want to show them. You feel me? Something to be proud of. Yep, motivation. You know what I mean? So that's one of the main things that I appreciate about the school, and I think that a lot of his detractors are missing. You feel me? I feel like a lot of them, they want it for one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this, I guess we get into it, was that a lot of the black people, for some reason, they felt slighted. They felt like, well, it's just another school. You know what I mean? It ain't really going to make no difference. He should have opened a more Afrocentric school strictly for black students and all that. And I'm like, okay, like I can see your point, but maybe that's not for everybody. First of all, everybody may not want to go to an Afrocentric type school. I mean, it is what it is. Secondly, you feel me? Like he really, he doesn't control the curriculum. That's not what this is. You feel me? Like I said, like we stated plenty of times, it's a public school. They dictate the curriculum, and the Akron School District hire the teachers. You feel me? And a lot of his detractors was like, it should be more black teachers, not enough black teachers for the kids. I'm like, well, it ain't only black kids going to that school. You know what I mean? So it's
So
like.
why does it have to be black? A lot of black teachers because it's a black man helping the school.
Exactly, because it's LeBron.
Right, yeah, basically.
Yeah, because it's LeBron, and they just want him to like. We got to get out of that mentality.
Who's my black film? It got to be geared towards that's the I don't understand that. Well, I mean, I get it to a certain extent, but I really don't, because it's like just because a black person is doing something, they have to be like, oh, we got to get this. Like they got to be extra black. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Everything got to be black on black,
exactly.
because it's not gonna be acceptable unless otherwise. And that's just it's like you can help. The fact that he's trying to help kids, it's not about color. He's trying to help kids. Period.
Inner city kids from his community, from where he grew up at. You feel me? The streets he walked. You know, so like get a man
the streets
some
he still sees a problem in that he wants to fix.
Exactly.
And you already going there.
And that's my thing. It's like a lot of these people have so many complaints about, and my biggest issue is like with the teacher situation. You know, a lot of them was mad. Like I think it's like 75 to 80% white women teaching the kids. I'm like, well, maybe the problem is not enough black men are becoming teachers.
Yeah.
You understand? You feel me? You can't blame Bron for that. You feel me? Maybe the pool isn't that, you know what I mean, filled to pick from. You know what I mean?
Right.
I really don't know that many black male teachers. Even growing up going to school, you know, you had a few.
Yeah.
You had a few.
We got a few in our district, but it's not that many.
Yeah, it's not that many. It's not that many. So it's like
I remember when I was growing up, I had I think one, maybe two black male teachers in elementary and middle school, and then when I was in high school, I saw more. But you know that it was a stark contrast, you know, from reality to school, you know, in terms of the black male population. So it's, you know, like you said, that's the one thing. And two, you know, this program, the way it's developed, it's a sacrifice for the teachers still. You know, there's still, you know, this dedication that they have to have. So if these teachers, regardless if they're white, male, female, whatever they are, they still have to accept the requirements that are put upon them in order to be in this program. You know, so it's not like they're handing out this, you know, golden ticket to teachers and saying, hey, you know, you're going to get LeBron money and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. No, they're like, hey, you're going to get basically the same pay that you would have gotten in a regular Akron school. You're going to get that same pay over here. They're going to get some extra money during the summer when they do these other programs, but most of those teachers are doing that anyway. Most of those teachers are going to second jobs during the summer anyway, so it's just another job. So you know what I mean? So I think that, you know, but during the school year, they're doing these extended hours, and during the extended hours, they're not getting anything extra. Just like any other teacher in Akron, they have to foot that bill on their own, doing that extra time to help these students out. They're doing it probably, you know, for the fact that, you know, it's probably going to be one of the best schools to work in because it's one of the newer schools in that district. But you know, you got to have some kind of level of want to be, you know, a great role model for these kids and to help these kids in order to take that, you know, extra sacrifice.
Yeah.
Question. Should, you know, a lot of people proud and excited about him doing it, but should we temper it a little bit until we at least see some results? Like, we tend to celebrate things without results.
So that was my other complaint.
I think it's a combination of just being happy that somebody took the time out of their schedule. Like I said, these celebrities don't have to do a damn thing for anybody. They just do whatever, play their game and be doing what they're doing. Celebrate the fact that he's willing to try to help these kids. Celebrate that. But I don't think people should be rushed to a negative judgment without the proof in the pudding. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should be rushed to a judgment when you're saying something negative because you don't know what's going to happen yet.
Okay. What you was about to say, Willie?
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, that was my other kind of complaint about the situation. I won't say it was a complaint, but I was just kind of, like you said, tempered. Like, we gotta kind of take a step back. It's a great thing. I'm very satisfied with the fact that he's had a plan and he continued to push through with that plan. But the thing is that we still have to see, like you said, results. Unfortunately, there's only so many ways to measure the results, and there's going to be some things that are going to be hard to measure, and some things that are going to be kind of blown out of proportion when it all comes down to it later on, because you have a very limited number of students, you have some teachers and some staff who are probably a little bit more vested into the situation compared to the teachers and staff in other schools. You're going to have a program that's, I'm guessing it's going to be a baby for not only the LeBron Family Foundation, but for the Akron School District as well. So they're going to want this to succeed. Is there going to be some favoritism in this school program and all the programs surrounding it? That's I think we have to kind of think about that from that standpoint. But overall, I think we have to let the program go for whatever number of years before we can say, yes, this was a success. This is something that's been completely beneficial to the students from beginning to the end. We got to look at it like this too. The LeBron James Family Foundation hasn't even paid a red cent against any of the scholarships that they're promising, because none of the students have reached that qualifying age yet or qualifying grade. So there's still a lot of just promises right now, and we have to just kind of temper that until we see some of this come to fruition. Now, I think this is a step in the right direction, because he's delivering with this school, something that's not probably been done in a long time by a sports figure. Putting up this money to get the school started, regardless of the fact that it's a public school and it's going to be paid for by taxpayer monies for the vast majority of it. The thing is that public school did not put this program together by themselves, and they didn't fund that initial seed money to get that school going. So they needed that help. And then with the fact that it's LeBron James' name put on it, it gives them that publicity and that public approval in order to make this happen.
Now, I agree. Now, I want to piggyback off something Sonny said. That she said we shouldn't be rushed to negative judgment. Excuse me. I also believe we shouldn't rush to positive judgment as well. I'm a huge LeBron fan, on and off the court. I like the things he does, on and off the court. But, and I agree with Sonny, these dudes don't have to do nothing. You feel me? Some people feel like they got a responsibility. They should do something because they got. I don't feel that way. I feel like they earn, they keep, and whatever profession. You feel me? All they got to do is take care of their family and their loved ones and live a positive life, and that's it. They don't have to really, it ain't up to them to take care of the world. But once you do it, once you jump out there and do something like this, well, now we got to hold you accountable, and we got to hold you to a standard now, because now you, it's like what he said. It's a lot of people invested in this now. You feel me? It's a lot of kids who got a lot of hope. You feel me? Now you done got this ball rolling. You feel me? This whirlwind of emotions is everywhere with people. You feel me? Everybody, they want it to work, but it's going to take work. And like Willie said, we won't know until this group right here, this initial group, is college bound.
Yeah. Until
then, we really don't know we can't gauge success. Because I think we were speaking about before, we don't even know how many of these kids really want to go to Akron University.
Well, I'm hoping that at some point it's a link within saying if you don't want to go to Akron, you want to go to other colleges, we'll help you. Like even if you're not going to go to college that we we kind of aligned ourselves with, or I forget what I'm losing the term, it's escaping right now. When you kind of team up with this school. So if they don't want to go to Akron and they want to go elsewhere, I'm hoping that there's some kind of, okay, so if you don't go here, we will still help you get here, but you just won't, you won't have, it'll be some type of scholarship to help you go to the school if you want to go to.
Yeah, so I'm based on what I've been reading, they haven't even come up with a way to fund those scholarships in full. So exactly. I kind of doubt there's going to be a full scholarship involved going somewhere else. I think it's going to be more of go to Akron University and get this full scholarship. If you don't, they may have a program that'll say, well, we'll help you figure out what college to go to, or we'll give you tips and tricks on how to get your application submitted. I'm sure they'll do stuff like that, because there's programs out there that'll be happy to jump on and help the iPromise program educate students on college, college readiness, and choosing financial aid programs and things like that. I mean, I know a couple here in Michigan that do it for free for any organization that wants the education to do it. But when it comes to that money, that's going to be a hard sell, I think, unless somehow, some way, there's some huge, donation from another foundation that comes in and says, you know what, no matter where these kids go, let's make sure that they go. Then that's the only way that's going to happen. But right now, I think, especially now that they're at school, you either Akron bound or you are you on your own.
You do have schools like you. I mean, let's not forget the fact that when you're a senior, or not even senior, a junior in high school, you start prepping for college. So you start applying. You got scholarships elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly. Yeah.
Depending on how good your grades are, or what type of sports you play, or what type of whatever type of scholarship you sign up for, there's a possibility. Like even if you don't want to go to Akron, or you don't get a scholarship through that foundation.
Oh yeah.
And you shouldn't rely on that, because there's other schools you can apply to. If you want to go to Howard or Harvard and you're doing great and they offer you a scholarship, that's fine. If you want to go to a school to play basketball and these other schools look at you and want you, they're going to offer you a scholarship. So this is another, this is on top of the other. And then I know in Jersey,
this is another option. Yeah, it's just another option.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So don't look at it that's the only place you can go to for college.
No, I'm pretty sure those kids know better than that, and I'm sure they'll be pushing. I mean, it'll actually be in their best interest to push for those kids not to go to Akron as a only choice anyway, because it'll help level the playing field for their scholarship monies as they start passing that money out. It'll help kind of reduce that load, because if you're saving for 1,200 kids to go to your school, and you start missing that mark, the more that don't go, the better your financials will go look on the other side. So,
and
I'm sure they'll do all in their power to make sure that they go somewhere else.
Yeah, and I agree with that, Willie. Because on the flip side of that, then it makes it what's the incentive of really working hard if you already know you got a free ride to go somewhere? All I got to do is do enough to graduate, and as long as I apply to Akron University, I got a free ride through college. I ain't really got to work hard.
Isn't it criteria to even get the free ride to Akron? You can't. They're not. I mean, most programs you have to have some type. You have to fit the criteria. You have to be there was a 4.0 or something like a 3.0 GPA, and
all I got to
do. Have to do this.
All I got to do is the bare minimum, man. You see what I'm saying? That's one of the complaints that a lot of people were saying as well. It's okay, you setting these kids up they trying to spoiling them. You taking the incentive to work hard away from them, because, like I said, like you just said, these schools have requirements for you to even get accepted into the college. But if all I got to do is the bare minimum to meet those requirements, that's what I'm gonna do. And I know I got a full ride, and I'm doing the bare minimum. At least that's what I know. That's how kids are. That's how kids think. You feel me? Why do I have to go that extra mile if I don't have to?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because It's already set. You're giving me a silver platter already. That's one of the drawbacks I have from it.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of look at it in the standpoint of I know it will cause certain students to kind of dismiss the other options out there. I mean, I was a kid that was offered a full ride early on in elementary school, and when I got that offer, you know, I knew I took it serious that I would, you know, need to apply to other places. So I ended up applying to like 4 or 5 different schools. But deep down in my heart, I felt like I had this full ride, and it was going to a school that I really wanted to go to, Michigan State University. So it was, you know, to me, it just kind of was like, you know, I don't really have to try extra hard to go somewhere else. I know I don't really have to go, you know, doing the essays and doing the special whatevers, you know, to get the extra, you know, scholarship money, all that kind of thing. Admittedly, I did dismiss a lot of that because I was like, hey, I already got a full ride to Michigan State. Now, to get my full ride, I did have to work my ass off, but it was kind of still in the same vein that you just mentioned, Clint, is that I still kind of took it as that offer on a silver platter, and I ran with it. You know what I mean? I mean, there are some students who you know wanted to go out of state and they didn't have that offer. That's another reason why I mentioned that, you know, I don't believe it's going to be, you know, any consolation prize if you decide you're not going to go to Akron. I'm pretty sure it's going to be like you either go to Akron or you don't. You know, you either go to Akron and get this ride or you do it on your own, because that was how it worked for the program I was in, and I know of a couple other programs where basically you either go to a Michigan school or you don't. You know, you either get this ride or you pay it on your own. And they had no qualms telling you that, but they did prep us. You know, they hey, do these X number of you know, scholarships, do this, do that. They gave us all the keys to the kingdom to go to somebody's college, to go to somebody's university, and to succeed in his life, regardless of if we decided to stay in Michigan or not. But when it came to what you wanted to do, some of us took the easy route and some of us didn't. You know what I mean? So I think, you know, validly speaking, you're right, Clint. There's that level. Either it's going to be in the prerequisites or it's going to be in the options that you choose later on. There's going to be a lot of students who are going to feel that way. They're going to be like, hey, I already got this in the bag, so I'm just going to roll with this.
Exactly.
Oh, God, we got a caller. I want to get them in. Caller, you on the line with GST Radio. What's your name and where you from? Oh,
this is
God,
Damon
that's
from Detroit,
James.
Michigan.
Remember, James. Hang up. No, hi, James.
I know.
Hey, long time no hear. I'm not sure what was said. Been kind of busy. But I say LeBron James, he is one of the top 2, maybe 5 athletes off the court, off the field, for doing what he's done with this whole school and tuition for college for the kids. Because if you think about it, it starts very young for education and for kids to have a chance and feel that they have a chance to have a future. If these kids feel like they have no future, they want to figure what's the point, and they're going to clown. You know, as you can see, the numbers and statistics of the violence, the drugs, you know, all the negativity that plagues our neighborhoods and in our communities. Now with this, it gives these kids and even the parents hope to do something better and to do more and to try to do more. This is a positive, outlook.
Yeah, okay. So that's basically the flip side of the point I was just saying. That's, you know, which is a good point. Some, like Willie said, you know, you're gonna have some on one side, some on the other. So some kids, I was saying, some kids may look at it as an easy out, so they won't work as hard. And for some other kids, it may be motivation. You know, it may be motivation. It may motivate them to work harder. You feel me? Like, yeah, like you just said, I got a chance now. All I got to do is stay on the right path. Don't mess it up. All I got to do is not mess up, and I got a full ride. For me, I like some pressure. Really, that's why I want to see how it play out. Because I think the kids at some point they got to be some pressure. Because you got all these perks. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say rebuttal to what you're saying. Some kids feel pressure because they have an easy out. Yes, well they have a goal set in mind, but there's still no easy out. You still have to put the work in to graduate to get to your goal. So there's still going to be some pressure there, somewhat. I mean, but
True, yeah.
at least you see the goal ahead of you. Now the pressure is to attain the goal. You actually have to go to class. You have to study. So that I would say that there's not really an easy note.
True. I just hope since they got all of that laid out for them, you know, raise the standard a little bit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, you got all this right here. You feel me? All of this is right here for you. Parents getting it. Your parents don't got a GED or high school diploma. We're going to get them a GED. We'll help them. We're doing all this for you. Got you covered. But guess what? We're going to challenge you. We're going to really challenge you. You know, that's what I hope happens. You feel me? I hope they really get challenged in that school. You know, I hope it just don't be no regular, you know, no regular just day-to-day thing, you know, common thing. I hope, you know, you a special school, y'all got all this extra curricular things. You know, they supposed to be having all types of field trips. Yeah. You know, they got it kind of good at that school. You feel me? Make it. You know what I mean? Make them appreciate it. The only way you can make them appreciate it is through giving them setting a high standard. In my opinion, setting a high standard.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? A lot of these schools, you know, like we mentioned, a lot of these, I know in our area in the charter schools and stuff, even the public, there's really no standard. It's like, all right, bring them in, let's push them out. You feel me? Bring them in, let's knock this curriculum out. This is what we're supposed to do. This is what the test score is supposed to be. As long as we meet these test scores numbers, as long as they meet these test scores numbers, we did our job, ship them on. You feel me? I don't want that school to be like that. You feel me? Because then, if it turns out, you know, in the long run, that's what it is, then really what good was the school? You feel me? For me, it becomes self-serving. It's his name on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So speaking of self-serving names, so I know we were gonna dive a little bit into the controversy with
don't do it
with your boy Commander Cheeto.
Don't do it.
And you know, the fact that he had his own ideas about this school being open and you know. So one thing that was interesting that I saw, I think it was the Young Turks had put it out there, put a video out there. You can go check it out on YouTube if you search for Lebron Promise School under Young Turks. They put a video out talking about how, you know, hypocritical Commander Cheeto is, criticizing somebody who's actually putting real money into a real school, and looking to improve the lives of real children and real families. And but, you know, he's the same guy who took some of his father's money and dumped it into a fake school, Trump University, if everybody remembers that, and just to ilk people out of their money. So, I mean, what's y'all thoughts on that one?
He needs to have a seat.
Like
$25 million. He He owed those people $25 million for a sham university. That's what I thought.
I feel like they should press charges on.
What's that?
Exactly.
File a lawsuit and press charges. I feel like, you feel me? That's fraud, in my opinion. That's fraud, and he should have either a civil lawsuit or charges to the side. You know, I think.
Yeah, he ended up having to pay the money. He settled out of court because he'll never settle, but he settled out of court. He did pay the $25 million. This all came after the presidency. He ended up having to pay that money to get them people off of him. But yeah, he definitely, man. I mean, like you said, Clint, that's fraud. The man openly out and out committed fraud, and then tried to suppress it for decades. Like I think it was like 15 years or 10 years that had been sitting around, and he was just pushing it off with his little high priced lawyers. And the only reason he even settled was because he became president, and he didn't want that he didn't want that extra little cloud over his head. But for him to try to disparage LeBron James of all people after the BS he put real people through, I swear somebody needs to just.
He always does this when he has a whole lot of things going on with him, like when it's a whole lot of drama on that, when them walls closing in on him, because he's dealing with a lot with his ex-lawyers. You feel me? The Russia, so when he get a chance,
it's all the deflection.
The deflect, yeah, he gonna run with it. Now the one thing I have, with the back and forth, well, it really wasn't a back and forth because LeBron didn't respond after he responded. But at the end of the day, we all know who Trump is. So, LeBron has said some things about him. LeBron called him a bum. And then before during the basketball season, during one of his interviews, matter of fact, he did that on Twitter. You feel me? When he was like called him a bum when he said when Trump denied that he's inviting the Golden State Warriors to come to the White House. And Brown was like, well, they ain't want to come anyway, bump. Yeah, you feel me? Like, they ain't want to come anyway, bump. And then, in his last interview, you accuse him of being divisive, which we all know he is. But when you say things, he's going to come back. You knew at some point he was going to say something. You let it slide the first time he didn't respond. This time, you go and respond. Question his intelligence. My thing is, everybody wanted to, I think the media using Bron to get at Trump because the media got an issue with Trump. That's why I feel like it's disingenuous, so to speak. You know what I mean? In my opinion, like the coverage of it is disingenuous because for me, it's just normal. Trump is just normal for the par for the course. You feel me? This is what he do. You feel me? But the media is trying to make it because he talked about Don Lemon and all. Yeah. You feel me? So they trying to just run with it and use Bron as leverage to get more viewership and run with it too. You know what I mean? That's why I really want to dig in that part of it.
It's an old take, an old thing they do, like when people of different people who are white or racist, I should say, the old added black people aren't smart enough. That's what they always did was for leverage. Like you got two idiots in the room, two black idiots in the room talking to each other. These guys are highly intelligent. You got, and the more what I can say for Trump, who misspells Kofi, who still knows. I don't know if anybody knows what that means still. Foreign policy, he doesn't have an idea about that. I mean, I'm not trying to question his intelligence, but he comes off pretty stupid. I mean, at this point, George W. Bush is a genius compared to him.
Right.
Don't get me started on George W.
Well, I actually miss him compared to Trump right now. I actually miss him compared to Trump. That's how bad it is.
W was a killer. You feel me? W got people killed. Trump ain't get nobody killed.
That's the Trump. That's the part that kills me.
That's the one thing Trump would say. You feel me? Thousands ain't dying under my watch. You feel me? No, I mean,
but Trump
sent the land to slaughter. You feel me? Sent kids to slaughter. You feel me?
Right.
People died. You feel me? Thousands of people, millions of people died, lost their lives because of George W. You know what I mean? So until all this divisive energy, like, to me, that's why, like, Trump is just mouthy, like, you feel me? He petty. You know what I mean? The way he come across. You feel me? And the way he make people feel. But as far as, like, doing stuff, or actually, like, just because, you know, like Bron said, he trying to make the country divisive, he just self-serving. He just doing whatever's going to work, try to keep himself in the White House. But, you know, which turn people off, you know, the things with the kids, separating the families, and, you know, the Muslim ban and all that, you feel me? Yeah, it's crazy, it's wrong, and everything. But at the end of the day, as of yet, he hasn't got thousands of people killed.
Yes, but he has this petty arguments with people overseas and with our allies over pettiness, and he's ready to go to war with what he called Rocket Man over pettiness, over because he just want to say he want to who can, you know, pissing contest basically.
So, let me ask y'all this though. Because it's a petition. It's literally a petition going around to have LeBron, like the head of the education department or something like that.
Oh, really? Yeah, over Betsy DeVoe. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is this. You feel me? Do we really want, you know, our athletes, like, okay, Bron doing great, but do we really want our athletes getting involved in politics like this when we know they really don't have experience? And we have this thing, and this is our complaint that we have with Trump. But just because we may like LeBron, we'll let it slide. But
I would want somebody who's competent. Now, it doesn't have to be an athlete, just somebody who's actually competent, not a celebrity. I mean, if their celebrity is actually competent enough to do it, that's fine. Don't do it just because you like the person and somebody gives one great speech at an award show. Doesn't mean they're presidential. That means they're likable and they gave a great speech.
Right. Yeah, I mean, my thing is LeBron James did not develop that school concept on his own. He didn't develop it. He didn't put the program in place. He didn't come up with the financing. He didn't come up. You know, there's a lot of things that's involved in this whole thing that he had no parts of. He slapped his name on something, and became the face of something that he had a vision of achieving. You know, he wanted to help kids. He wanted to do a couple of different things. And, you know, he probably got those things added to the program. But the overall program, I'm sure there were real educators, there were real experts that were involved in all of that he may have paid for, you know. But I doubt if he chose them. You know what I mean? He probably had like a couple of people who were like, you know what, I know who we can talk to. You know what, I know somebody who can get involved in this. You know what, I know a program that'll work. You know what, blah blah blah. And they, you know, his team. You know, and again, not even his team, you know, because you're talking about a man who plays sports and does all these other things, and then this is the LeBron James Family Foundation. That means that this is another group of people, individuals, who are, you know, working, you know, for this other company and doing different things to, you know, wherever the money's coming from, be it, you know, programs that they're putting on, charities that, you know, that are people who are doing charitable contributions to them, as well as whatever, you know, taxable money that he wants to write off and puts into it. You know, this is not just LeBron James. This is not just his brainchild. It's something that he just came up with, on a whim. Like, you know what? This would be a great idea. He pitched it to the Akron school system, and they were like, "Oh, cool. You know exactly what you're doing." That's not what happened, people. Like, slow down, chill. So, I think we really need to.
Oh, we got another call. I want to get them in. Damon, I'm gonna put you on hold real quick, okay? Because I don't know. If I could try to add everybody in. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but we'll see.
That's
hold on.
I got you.
Caller, you on the line with GST Radio.
Oh, okay. What's up, y'all?
Hello.
What's
your
your name? Where
name?
you calling from?
Oh, this is Naj in Atlanta.
Okay.
Hi, guys in Atlanta.
Yeah, what up?
What up, though?
I ain't nothing, man. What up?
What's your thoughts on the topic? You been listening?
Well, just on the topic off his head, like, really, there's really nothing to criticize, man. The dude is doing a really, important, good thing. If he wanted to make this a vanity project, he could have easily done a charter school like most people do. And, those things kind of are 50-50 as far as outcomes. But he chose to do a public school in a whole new way, not only putting his money into it, but putting some of that organizational muscle he has in getting corporate sponsors, getting the teachers union involved, because no matter what, they wouldn't have been able to get that far without some kind of cooperation. And then when you add the extension part of them kids, once you graduate, you're going to college, Akron, like, yeah, he's building something big. But let me just add this. Just think about this. 20 years from now, in that area, I'm sure we're going to find out LeBron has bought some significant property around there. He's going to put certain corporations there for those kids to work at, and he's going to be one of the wealthiest men to ever live in Ohio. So it's not just the give back part. There's also going to be some consolidation going on here, too, because, the people around him are not fools.
Mm-hmm. True that.
Great point.
True that.
Let me ask you another question.
Point.
let me ask you a question. There was something that we were discussing. I don't know if you heard. Do you think with all those incentives the kids have, do you think it will motivate most kids, or do you think some of the kids will look at it as, well, I already got the silver platter, I'm going to just do the bare minimum? What you think?
No, I think you're just going to see kids kind of do much better than what they would have. For the most part, kids without resources are going to have trouble. But here you're talking about not only are you doing the stuff for the kids, but you got the job assistant thing, you got the food pantry stuff. The quality of life issues is what makes things really, really hard. Like if you're a poor kid in a bad environment, yeah, you got a lot of hurdles to jump over to do well in school. But if you remove some of those hurdles, then, yeah, some of those kids are going to excel. And, yeah, some of those kids are going to barely graduate and, have to do remedial stuff within college too. But that's a better outcome than they would have had. And remember, they're starting off with third grade. Why? Because third grade is usually when kids start to fall behind. So if you can kind of catch them there and keep them going to where they're going. And look, what do we think is different about our kids than other kids? Like, if you give kids opportunities and resources, for the most part, people are going to excel. Some people are going to do bad, yes, because no school is 100%. But, I mean, I don't, yeah, we're no different than anybody else, man. Give our kids the tools they need, and the majority of them are going to succeed.
Okay. Great points, brother.
Yeah, I can dig that. I can dig that. What do you guys think about, kind of a little on the petty side, but what do you think about Melania Trump speaking up on behalf of LeBron when her husband was trying to speak bad about him and what he was doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. As me and Sonny's favorite comedian, Trevor Noah, put, as a woman scorned, she's going to side with him. Like, we going to, what do you say, Sonny?
He was like, it's basically like she's going to low-key shade Trump by praising anybody he's against.
Right.
But I think that she genuinely was. I don't think she did it to shade him. It was more of he's doing a good job. So I like she wanted he's trying to do something positive for the kids. So she saw it as a thing for the kids more than I guess assuming what her husband saw it as. Because LeBron doesn't like him. So
it was a power play.
I don't think it was just a shade for Trump. It was just like this guy's doing a good job and I want to commend him. Period.
It was a power play. It was a power play for her and for the name and for the Trump name because she's been looked at as MIA basically. When the situation happened with the kids being separated from their families and put in cases and stuff, and then she went and she wore that jacket or whatever, she had to find a way, and her PR people, because she got her own people, had to find a way to spin it and get her back into a positive light. And what else? Yeah. What other way get back into the positive light where the most talked about thing, the most famous athlete in the world, doing something for the kids, your husband tried to throw shade at him. What best way to get back in the good graces of people is to extend that olive branch. Oh, no, I don't agree with because her daughter did it too. Her daughter said something too, said she didn't agree with it. You feel me?
Yeah, about separating families. Yep.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, all they're trying to do is make a power play and try to save face to the Trump name because they have that Trump name. So, they can't let that Trump name get dragged too much through the dirt. Let the father do it. You feel me? He the president. He don't care what nobody. You think he really care what Melania said?
No.
Come on, man. Exactly. So
yeah, but it still makes him look small and weak when you have defiant people in your camp being very defiant. You know what I'm saying? People who are not being very defiant, but going against which you think and wish.
But that would involve having feelings and caring what other people think, and we know Trump don't have neither one of those. So that's that's neither here nor there. He don't exactly. He do not care. He's a narcissist. He's a huge narcissist. His biggest thing is he knows, and he's the world's greatest gaslighter. So, he just knows that gets people going, that he can say what he want to say, do what he want to do, and there's no repercussions. And so he's going to continue to do that regardless of what his family says or his staff does or people leave or people go, he doesn't care. He's going to continue to do business as usual. I mean, he's the most business as usual person I ever met in my life. I mean, he takes the cake when it comes to business as usual. It's like, some people, they see their empire crumbling, they crumble. They see. I mean, look at what was my man name? The one that Bush went after, Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein. He was one of the most powerful men over in the Middle East, and as soon as the U.S. came in and started dropping bombs, my man ran to a cave. This man was the richest man over there. He ran to a cave. Yeah, they were shooting missiles at his house, but my thing is, his empire started to crumble, he crumbled, right? I mean, there's a lot of examples, but basically, there's nothing you can say nor do to Trump that's going to make him change. He will continue to say, you know what, business as usual. I'm still going to be out here, playing the dozens with everybody in the Twitter sphere. I'm still going to be out here making wild comments and commentary to people. He's still going to be out here flaunting Russia up in everybody's face, regardless of the fact that everybody's going to jail over Russia. He's still going to be out here doing whatever the hell he wants to do because Trump is Trump, and Trump's going to be Commander Cheeto for the rest of his life.
Yeah. Is the brother from Atlanta still on?
Yeah.
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 I want to ask you a question.
I was just going to say, oh, go ahead.
No, you say what you say, then I ask my question.
Yeah. Sometimes, like, we try to, like, make him to be smart like a fox, and then in some situations, it's just, he's a moron. And, he got emotional about something, so he immediately let off what he wanted to say, and then the PR people have to come behind and try to smooth things out So, I mean, I don't even know if Melania even talks to those people or gives directives. I think more than anything, they were just trying to, put a little ease on that, because there was no reason for them to take shots at it. It's like the president, normally you don't take shots at a beloved athlete or somebody that's doing something like that because there's no win in it. But this dude, for some reason, he felt like that was the time to take a shot. So, it was just dumb. So they constantly got to cover up.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Once again, he don't care.
Let me ask you something. What do you think about athletes or entertainers switching to the political side or trying to get more politically involved? Do you think they need to? Do you think it's their responsibility? Or do you think only, like Dane said earlier, only the competent should involve themselves in politics?
Yeah, I mean, if that's something that means something to you and you've studied it a bit, then, this is kind of, we got a legacy of this. Howard Bryant just put out a book called The Heritage, where he goes over each generation and some of the athletes and some of the stands that they took. And, if you don't want to be a part of that, there's nothing wrong with that either. Hey, you just want to make your money and be an athlete, it's just like a citizen. Everybody's not going to be an activist. And honestly, when you try to force people to do that, then those are usually going to be the people you don't want to hear from. But somebody like Dak Prescott, like what he did was, that was damn near treasonous, man. There was a fight between Jackie Robinson and Jesse Owens that went the same way. Instead of Jesse saying, well, that's not something I'm really involved in and, I don't want to speak on it, he went the other way and said that they were wrong and they need to stop what they're doing, that y'all going to get us in trouble type stuff. So to see Dak go out there and not just say, I'm not involved in it, that's not my issue, this dude went up and said, I never protest. I don't think it's the right place. And, that's when it gets become a problem. It's like, if you don't want to take that weight, don't take that weight, but don't speak about the people actually putting something on the line to do it.
Yeah.
All right.
What
Yeah,
you just said about the activists. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Dan.
I was saying what you said about the activists is totally right. Because growing up, Michael Jordan was one of the guys I looked up to on the court. Because we know off the court he had some issues, But then as he became, everybody kept saying he's the greatest on the court. Yes, I agree. But off the court, LeBron, like I said earlier, LeBron, Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, those guys were the activists for their communities. Michael Jordan hasn't said a word since forever. I think he said one thing, and I think that's during a couple of years ago about when the police shootings was getting out of hand, even in Charlotte. He said something one time, and that was it. Now he's coming out saying that, something about LeBron being on his team, it would not, which is totally, I won't say fake, but at the same time, it's disingenuous. Like, he's just saying something now. He's not a real activist. He's about himself and being in his own atmosphere, being his, I won't say self-serving and self-centered ways, where LeBron is a little bit more active.
Here's the thing, when everybody, like, I totally agree with you as far as if we're going to compare them to socially. Of course, LeBron got him beat. But at the same time, like the brother said, like Sonny said, like I said, I really don't, if it's not in him, I don't want him to say nothing. You know what I mean? It's better to be thought of as a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. You know what I mean? So like, you know what I mean? So if he get out there and we be looking at MJ like, okay, MJ a dumbass. Shut up. Now we want him to shut up. You feel me? Like, he doesn't owe that. He doesn't owe us anything. That's how I feel. Like, none of these dudes owe us anything. So, like, I feel like a lot of the backlash. Yeah, and I feel like a lot of the backlash you get is kind of unfair, because at the end of the day, even like when close people to MJ, talk about MJ, they always be like, yo, MJ hired more black people than anybody. He got more, you know what I mean? Like, so to me, you don't always have to be loud. Everything doesn't always have to be seen. So if he's doing it and he's doing it his way, cool. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like the narrative of, you know, ain't nothing gonna get done unless some big time celebrity speak up for us. You feel me? To me, I feel like that's a defeated attitude. We're going in defeated because now we feel like our voice as a whole doesn't count unless somebody who's popular says something. You know, and like, I don't feel like MJ has to say something. And like you said earlier, Dame, they have to be competent. They have to be competent, and they have to have something. I just don't want anybody talking for me, and claiming
don't
they
want
represent
anybody voting.
Yeah, you know how I feel about that. You feel me?
And you know what? MJ set himself up to not fail in this particular, because he did an interview years ago saying that he shouldn't be a role model. That's up to the kids' parents. That's why he doesn't speak on politics or anything like that. That's not his job. His job is to, when he was playing, to win championships for the teams he was playing with and entertain at the same time, but not to be a role model. So he set himself up at an earlier time.
I think him and Barkley kind of got away with one on that one, though. Because if you're selling sugar water to kids, you're selling sneakers to kids, you're selling these Big Macs to kids, then, I mean, you are influencing not only people's minds, but their choices. So that, you know, on the back end, you know, walk away from any responsibility and say, well, I'm not a role model. Okay, you're not the role model that most of us would want our kids to have, but you do have a lot of influence and sway in society. Otherwise, they wouldn't be signing you up for these sponsorship deals. So I hear what you're saying. Like, all day, we definitely don't want our kids to be looking up to those damn athletes as far as being, you know, a role model. You want something more practical and more real. But, man, they got a lot of influence commercially. And I think it's kind of ducking their duty to say, well, I ain't a role model. Okay, we'll get the money back.
No, that's not what happened. That's the corporation's money. They don't care about, you know, they just want the money. They don't care about the end process. As far as
corporations ain't giving you this money on a whim. They crunch the numbers, seeing your influence, your Q rating, and figured they're going to cash in, and they do cash in because it works. How many people bought those Hanes T-shirts with no? Man, this ain't got no tag in it. Can you believe it? An undershirt with no tag. Hey, man.
No, but I like them shirts. I buy them for my son.
Right, but I'm just saying, Mike was selling those. So, I mean, they didn't give him that money because, you know, they just liked him.
Right, because he's cool.
That's a great point. That's a great point. Like, you don't want to be a role model, but at the same time, you want to still use your influence to sell a thing and make money off of it. Like, I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree. Like, that's kind of playing both sides of the fence. You know what I mean? And ducking. But at the same time, when it comes to like that's a personal choice at the end of the day for the consumer. You know, I still, whether you sell me something or not, I still have the choice to not go buy that, or you know what I mean. So like that's ultimately on me. You feel me? So, but when it comes down to you start making statements politically or socially, trying to reflect and talking about that reflects with how we as people feel. See, then it's like, nah, bro. You feel me? Like, if you're really not in tune with the people, shut up. You feel me? I don't think MJ really in tune with the people. So it's like I don't want him. You know what I mean? Just do what you do on your level. You know what I mean? If you help people and because I heard he got many foundations and stuff like that. But with all these athletes, like, if they're not entertainers, if you're not informed and in tune with the people, I really don't want to hear from you.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. So this is my thing too about that is, and I 100% agree with what most of y'all saying in terms of, you know, if it's not in them, we shouldn't be trying to force it on them. You know, some people like to just come in, do their job, and go home. You know, some people like to be activists from the armchair. You know, some people like to you know, they like to teach, but they don't like to do. You know, there's a lot of different ways people like to operate and don't like to operate. So I think that, you know, trying to put on people who don't have it in them to do certain things it is asking too much, because at some point you got to realize that they didn't sign up for certain things. You know, being a pro athlete, you're not required to do, you know, to do activism. You're not required to do, you know, charity. You're not required. It's a nice to have. You know, it's great to see your pro athletes doing something. You know, especially when they're stars, especially when they have a platform that they can take advantage of. We like to see that, right? And we want them to take advantage of that platform for the greater good. But my thing is this: what if their platform isn't your platform? And I can't remember who put it out there, but there's a thing about the fact that, you know, just because people are black don't mean that they, I think it was you, Clint, matter of fact, just because somebody's black don't mean that they for you. Not everybody black is doing everything for black people. Not everybody poor is doing everything for poor people. Not everybody that's rich is trying to help anybody out. We got to get over that. You know, people are human beings. They have their own belief systems. They have their own ways of doing things. Some people are just quirky and weird. You can't force people to be like you and to think like you. People got to stop doing that. You know, it's just like making generalizations, because the thing is the fact that we give people these roles that we feel like they should do and they should, you know, participate in, you know, or they should, you know, oh, you should be doing X, Y, and Z. Not thinking about the fact that some of these guys don't even know how to manage their own money, let alone manage their own lives. How they gonna manage a protest? How they gonna manage, you know, a school? How they gonna manage being a political superstar? They got a lane, and sometimes people don't like to get out of that lane because they know better. Let them know better and do them. You know, don't force it, because you got people who will come back, who will come into it, change lanes, and run into your car. So now what you gonna do? So, you know, people got to get over that and let people stay in the lane that they feel like they should stay in. You know, if they got something to say, they'll say it. I mean, like you said, Jordan eventually said something about something. He eventually used his platform for somebody else's benefit than his own. But he's a selfish. I mean, the man played selfish. Why is it a surprise to y'all that the nigga is the most selfish man in the world? Now that I'm thinking about it, that was like your clue number one is the man is the most selfish player in the NBA history. He never let go of the ball. He inspired selfish people. Why would we think that he's got any kind of charity in him? Get over it, people. It's over.
We got to stop thinking we're all. We got to stop thinking we're black people. Got to stop thinking we're some type of monolithic group. You feel me? Just
we don't operate like one anyway, so.
Yeah, we don't operate because you know what I mean. Like we all don't think the same. You feel me? So
exactly.
And then you know the saying is all skin folk ain't kin folk. You know that's what Willie was bringing up. Like all skin folk ain't kin folk. So, and that was my issue with a lot of these pro-black people. Y'all know I'm pro-black too. Y'all know I can get ignorant with my pro-black. So, but y'all know this. But my thing is, like the venom of some of these people that got mad at LeBron because it didn't focus just strictly on black people, on black children, and a black curriculum, like baffled me. It really baffled me. It's like there was no give. Like they didn't give a damn about the positivity that he was trying to do or that he has done. You feel me? Like if it ain't for all black people, we don't give a damn. Like I think we can't go to that extreme when judging somebody when they're doing something to this magnitude at that. You feel me? Mm-hmm. I guess they wanted to be Umar Johnson.
Right.
Go ahead.
I think Yeah, and I think it's naive, too, just to assume somebody has the same consciousness or thinking that you have. Let's talk about how most of these athletes are groomed. We're not talking about the 60s where, you would have a certain kind of understanding, a certain communal understanding, a certain idea about what your people are going through and what should be done. They're not getting that kind of education. So on the back end, when this person walks into this new life that he's living, how would people think that person is supposed to kind of think of the world and think of themselves in the world? So, I think it's real naive for people to make those assumptions about folks. And then those people who make those criticisms and say, oh, well, it should have been all black, it should have been this, it should have been that. Well, there's room for you to do that same thing, or there's room for you to contribute to those already doing it. So, I don't get those kind of arguments, man. It doesn't make sense.
Same people that got mad at Michael B. Jordan for being around white women. Calm down. Everybody in for everybody. All black folk in for you. He might like a little sprinkle. Let him have his fun. That's fine. Just because he was in Black Panther don't mean he can't date white people. Like, let him be great. Let him do whatever he wants. He's a celebrity. He ain't checking for you. Like, you always wherever the fuck you at. He's over here dating other people.
This is my thing about relationships anyway, about these celebrity relationships. Even if he was with a black woman, what does that matter for you? Like he not checking for you. So stop getting mad because he's checking for Becky. Let him do him, because even if he was with Quantisha, he still ain't checking for you. So get over it.
This is what I say. This is what I always say. And this is the argument I was making. You feel me? I always go back to this argument me and you was having, Willie, about us celebrating people doing things or accomplishing things for the first time, or it all ties in. Because, okay, say he's dating a black woman, right? Who's to say that black woman gives a fuck about other black women?
Exactly.
You better say that. You better say that. Like that's what irks me. That's what irks me. Like stop putting these people on pedestals just because and just because we celebrate them in one arena. That's what we got to understand. Just because we celebrate somebody in a particular arena doesn't mean outside that arena we will actually even like them as a person.
Right.
You understand?
They are actors. Yeah. They're supposed to act like their person's characters.
Like Michael Jordan. A lot of people love the way Michael Jordan played basketball. But, off the court, you'll hear people say, oh, maybe he's an asshole. This, that, and the third. Like, you stop putting these people on these pedestals that they can't live up to. You know what I mean? You feel me? And it's not their fault. And it's not their fault that they don't live up to
it's
the
not
pedestal.
their fault. Mm-hmm.
It's our fault because we had this certain vision for them that they don't even have for themselves. Because we're lacking it. Because as a whole, we're lacking it within ourselves. That's why we want them to be the best version of us instead of being the best version of us. We want somebody to represent the best version of us, and that's too much pressure to put on them. Like I never understood that.
Yeah, I think the other thing to think about too is that. Oh, go ahead, brother.
No, go ahead, bro. I would.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say, and the other thing is not only about not knowing if we're gonna really like that person that they are outside of the arena that they in, but why do we have to put that on somebody else who probably don't deserve it? It's like just because you think that he was a great father in a movie, don't make him a great father. Just because he's a political activist on the TV screen, don't make him a great political activist. People got to stop trying to make people do too much. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of the patriarchs and matriarchs in our community who will never be celebrated, never be known, those are the people who made the greatest contributions. You know what I mean? They raised families, make sure that kid got that money to go to school, bought that little suit for homecoming so you could go on a surprise when you didn't think you was gonna make it. All those little things that people do, those I guess sacrifices they make throughout the lives of families and hold whole families together, keeping kids when somebody is in trouble or the bills are late and they're handling stuff. So I mean, those are the the real heroes, the people we know, and like we get confused because sometimes we take things as black problems when we're talking about American problems as a whole. So like this stand culture, that's a part of mass media and making everything into a commodity. Get on Twitter and see these 13-year-old girls go after somebody because they said something they didn't like about Beyonce, and they'll just attack them for hours. Like that much energy into somebody you don't know who you've made into an idol and added all kind of stuff on. I'm not knocking Beyonce by saying that. I'm just talking about just
that's not 13-year-old. That's not 13-year-old girls. That's grown women doing that, and some grown men.
True. True. Right. I misspoke.
Let's be honest here.
There's grown ass folks doing that. And then, like, to go back to the commercialization part, look, I know we all make choices, but think about it. Do you use the same cleaning solvent that your grandmother or your mother used when you was growing up? Do you buy the same soda that they used to keep in the house or juice that they kept in the house? Like, branding is very, very important, and that's why they pay these people that amount of money to be spokesmen. Because if you can get in the house for one generation, there are times where you can be there for 4. And to a company, that's gold, man. Because I tell you right now, I still buy Comet Cleanser. I have no idea why.
Right?
I'm assuming it's because my mom used it, and her mom used it.
What, did I just use that today? Did I not just use that today, brother?
Yes, I got Comet Cleanser.
You got a point. That's a huge point.
Yes.
What kind of lotion do y'all use
or Scottish tissue, because Scotty's been in the family for years.
My family uses Vaseline intensive care, so I find myself buying that. I never question everything. And this is an American problem because a lot of us get thirsty and buy a Coke and think it's our idea. Like that's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah. I was just reading a book. About habits that talk just about that, about how they use our habits and how they commercialize, and everything you just said was 100% true, brother. 100% true.
Yep. Well, we got to wrap this thing up. Getting close to closing time.
Yes. Thank you, Nas. Nasir, was it? Or Nas?
No, it ain't Jay. Not like the rapper.
Nas.
Thanks for letting me on, y'all. Appreciate it.
Man. Call back.
Call back anytime, brother. Call back anytime.
We enjoy your insight, boss.
Will do, man. Thanks for the time.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
I think we lost, what's the name? Damon.
What's the name? Damn. He gonna hear that.
Why you doing things like that?
I was actually, because I'm looking at the time. I'm sorry. It hit my mind. Because we got 2 minutes left, so I want to kind of make sure y'all give out y'all information.
Well, y'all know where y'all can hit me up. I'm back posting more on my blog, akingstruth.com. That's AKINGSTRUTH.com. I'm back on Snapchat, The King's Truth. You feel me? And Twitter @eTrentonGruby. Holla at me.
It's your boy Willie Styles. Get at me @Willie Styles everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm on Snapchat as Willie.Styles. My website is stylesradio.com. Make sure you check out the blog. Check out AskWillieStyles.com, WillieStyles.info for all my links.
Willie Styles got a lot of shit. Hit me up. The favorite person you like to talk to, Sunny. I am Sunny _D. Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. Simple, right? Check my blog, unreservedlyme.com. Thank you guys for listening to tonight. Check out our blog, GSTRadioshow.com, for all our links and our info. Good night, guys.
Also, give out the Teespring merch one time.
Yes, teespring.com/store/GST Radio. Get y'all some merchandise. Hit up our Instagram page @GST_radio. There we go.
Listen to us on SoundCloud,
to the replays.
iTunes. Yeah. YouTube.
Ask Google and ask Alexa to play our podcast. Ask them to play the GFT radio show. They will play it for you. We out there.
All right.
See you on 7 days.
Yeah. Bye.
Holla.
Amazon has everything for back to school. Zebra lunchbox? Check. Cool Adidas gear like t-shirts, shoes, and backpacks? Check. Triceratops folders and pencils? Check. Laser Cat t-shirts? Check. Get your back to school shopping done now at amazon.com/back-to-school.